If your religion claims to be Christian but rarely speaks about Jesus, you may be in a cult. My name is Amber. I grew up in the Jehovah's Witness cult. I spent almost 40 years in it, and I'm fifth generation, and I'm sharing my experiences to hopefully help and encourage others. I went on to jw.org to try to find all the books that were written about Jesus. Out of almost 300 books that are listed on their website, there were 4 I found. And I think one of those was a tract, which is like just a little brochure. They rarely speak about Jesus. Now, they will sprinkle his name in, and I will get people here in the comments that say, we're a Christian, we speak about Jesus. Not very much. And the reason for that is because Jesus laid out what is required. And when you have leadership that puts themselves in the place of Jesus, it doesn't really do well to talk about the true Savior when you've put yourself in that position. Tell me how 4 books shows that you're Christian. I mean, Ecclesiastes 12:12 says, be careful, for writing books is endless and much study wears you out. That's what people are feeling in the organization. They're feeling worn out by everything. Even when you have a Bible study, you're not studying the Bible, you're studying their book that they wrote. I know people don't want to hear that the governing body has put themselves in the place of Jesus, but it's true. When Jesus said, no one gets to the Father except through me, but the organization or the governing body says, you can't get in without doing what we tell you to do, it's kind of the same thing, isn't it? I mean, when they tell you, you have to do everything that we say in our way, you're told to shun people, you're told when it's okay to talk to them, you're told what to do medically, politically, dress, work, everything. You're told what to do in your life to make it. That's a term that is used. I mean, I've heard my grandparents talk about this. They were talking about the last conventions, and my grandmother was like, it was saying, if we don't do this, we're not going to make it. And if we don't do this, we're not going to make it. And I remember thinking, was the theme of the convention, you're not going to make it? Because there's so much that goes on. Growing up in this organization, you know that you have to toe the line or else you're not going to make it. So they're the ones deciding, and they're saying you don't get to God except through us, which is why they don't talk about Jesus very much. Because if anything, they should be Jesus witnesses instead of Jehovah's Witnesses. But they don't talk about that either. Like and follow for more.